You can make a consistent salary starting today putting minimal hours into this. Ever heard of Airbnb? Well, if you haven't, then you've probably been living under a rock. No, really. This video has been something that I wanted to make since 3 years ago since starting my vacation rental business. I have successfully started and ran a vacation rental business for over 6 years starting from my college days. In today's video, let's dive into how you can start a vacation rental business and how much I've generated over the years. Let's go. Back when I was in college, my family member was living with a roommate, and just so happens the roommate left and she had to find another one. She had this idea to possibly have guests staying in the room to make more than her rent. Little did we realize the demand for the rooms were very high because we were living in Hawaii, and it was a very profitable business. Then a similar situation happened to me when one of my rooms in my house was vacant, and that's when I decided to have guests for my room as well. Soon after opening up my room for Airbnb, I knew this could be a potential business that we could expand further. So during my college years, I was fortunate enough to have investors investing from Korea to Hawaii and have their rooms managed by me as vacation rental business. Then later, as I was expanding, I realized you can do this with any rental property as long as you get a sublease agreement. So during my college years, I was able to start this business and make a couple $100s here and there. And then when I was expanding, I was able to make over 6 figures within about a year or two. I really wish I kept a good financial record since starting this business, but when I first started, I didn't really keep track of my revenues and expenses, so all my data is from pretty much 2016 and on. But roughly, as you can see from my business bank deposit, you can see that I have deposited over 6 figures from 2016, and sometimes the deposits were even 200,000. Now, of course, I did not make such figures in the beginning like any other business. However, putting in a lot of time and effort to building the business, once it was up and running, it took very minimal effort to sustain the business. Many people when starting a business is often scared to lose money, and when you're starting out a business, you have to be willing to risk and lose money in order to make money.
You're gonna risk our lives for a Twinkie?
And it's the same philosophy for this business as well, because when you first put in money to open up the vacation rental properties, you might not get any bookings on your first month or your even second month. Then you will have negative revenue in the end. However, as time goes, Airbnb will suggest your properties to prospective guests and you will get bookings no matter what. Also, even if you do get bookings, you have to make sure that your revenue will outprofit the expenses such as your rent or mortgage. I would say if you have a mortgage on a property, it is more riskier to run it as a vacation rental business than subleasing because you are obligated to pay for the property for many years, unlike renting from someone else that you can just terminate your contract anytime. When you're starting out, please do not think you're going to get rich overnight because
Sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yes, thank you. You will get rich quick. We all will.
this is an actual business that takes time and effort to build it up, and once it's built up, that's when it can become a passive income. Then once you start expanding to at least 2 to 5 properties, you will start making 6 figures a year. Also, if you have the right setup and system going, it takes no effort to run this business. Now, the biggest and most important factor when you're setting up this business is the location. You have to ask yourself, is the location popular among tourists? Is it popular among the locals? What is the merit around the business that will attract people? And especially if you're not in an area that will attract tourists, what are the things in the area that will attract local people? Perhaps your property can be in front of a beautiful lake and set up as a camping style lofts. Or maybe you're in a beachfront area where it will attract tourists and local people to have a vacation getaway. Whichever location you choose, do your due diligence to research the area and find out what attracts people. Also, make sure to check out Airbnb and other websites to see how much the nightly price is around the area and what type of vibes the properties are giving off. There are a couple of ways that you can get into this business. First is to seek out peers who have a mortgage property and they will let you run it as a vacation rental business.
Yeah, baby!
This is probably the safest and easiest ways to get into this business because it is much easier to get a property from someone you know than random owners subleasing it to you. Of course, you can agree to pay them a fixed rent plus a percentage of your revenue. Second way is to find a rental property and have a property manager agree to let you sublease to other people. Normally, the landlord will have to agree to this, and it is often the hardest way to achieve a property because most of the time landlord doesn't want new people coming in and out of their property and possibly damaging the properties. And speaking of damages, you will have damages over time. I mean, it happens almost every week for me. and you will have to deal with it as quickly as possible so your turnaround time is not interrupted by any chance. And last way of getting into this business is by having a multiple dwelling unit. You can live there and manage at the same time, which is very effective because you are living there and it is easier to manage the guests. However, you are sacrificing your privacy and your common area, so that is one of the disadvantages. Third thing you'll be looking for is the type of unit that you'll be setting up with. Before you get excited and sign away with a property manager, you have to make sure what type of property that you want. Will it be a studio unit with a kitchen? How many bedrooms will there be? How many bedrooms will be more desirable by the people that will be coming to that area? Don't worry, this can all be easily found by looking on Airbnb and other vacation rental websites. You can simply go to the website and check the location and look at the properties on the website. Now, if the property is booked 75% of the month, then you probably want to get a similar property to that one. Also, make sure to check out the property details to see what type of things that they offer and what's the vibe of the property. Remember, the bigger the place, the harder it is to manage, however, the more money that you can make. After you have researched and figured out a property to open, then you have to crunch the numbers. Now, this is the easy part since you can just figure out the mortgage or the rent that you'll be paying for the property and make sure to include all the utilities such as electricity, internet, and cables. Then look at Airbnb to find similar properties as yours to see how much they charge per night. After you get the rental rates per night, you can multiply that by 20 to 25 nights per month, which is average that people need to book, and that will come out to your revenue. Then you can simply just subtract your expenses from your revenue. Now, if the numbers turn out to be positive, congratulations, you might have a profitable business.
Nice.
However, if it's negative, then you might have to come up with a different property and possibly increase the value that you provide to your guests so you can charge them more. Lastly, considering that you did all your homework and research, it's time to sign. Whether you're getting from someone that you know or a property manager, make sure that it fits within your budget and your numbers are correct. And most importantly, make sure you can sublease the property, because if they don't let you do it, then you probably shouldn't do it. Okay, so if you've done all your homework and research and you have successfully completed the steps in this video, congratulations, you're gonna be rich. Maybe. Hope your business will boom and prosper from this easy passive income business. However, I do have to remind you that there are more things involved in this type of business than what I have mentioned in the video. And if you do want me to make a video in depth about this, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching and please subscribe for more money making contents.